Bat Masterson gives account of Doc Holliday. In all respects, the Rocky Mountain town looked good to him, and as he had set out to build up a record for himself as a man-killer, he did not purpose lying idle very long. While Denver, in many respects in those days, was a rough and ready town, it nevertheless enforced to the very letter of the law the ordinance against the carrying of firearms, and Holliday, for the once becoming prudent, put his canister aside, but straightway went and bought himself a murderous-looking knife. Thus healed, he did not long delay in getting into action, and in so doing carved up the face and neck of one Bud Ryan, a quiet and gentlemanly-looking sport, in a frightful manner. Bud Ryan still lives in Denver and carries around with him the marks of his run-in with the fighting Holliday more than 30 years ago. Doc lived during his stormy career in Texas, Colorado, and Kansas, and in the territories of New Mexico and Arizona. Beside the killing of the Negroes in the river in his hometown, he shot a man in Dallas, Texas, and killed another in Jacksboro. He stabbed Bud Ryan in a frightful manner in Denver, Colorado, and shot another in Trinidad in the same state. He killed a man in Las Vegas, New Mexico, and was directly connected with several killings in Arizona. Now, Kansas, it will be observed, was the only state in which he had lived in which he failed to either slay or bodily wound some person. The question as to the extent in which he was justified in doing as he did is, of course, open to debate. I've always believed that much of Holliday's trouble was caused by drink, and for that reason held him to blame in many instances. While I assisted him substantially on several occasions, it was not because I liked him any too well, but on account of my friendship for Wyatt Earp, who did. He was slim of build and sallow of complexion, standing about 5 feet 10 inches and weighing no more than 130 pounds. His eyes were of a pale blue, and his mustache was thin and of a sandy hue. Physically, Doc Holliday was a weakling who could not have whipped a healthy 15-year-old boy in a go-as-you-please fist-fight. And no one knew this better than himself. And the knowledge of this fact was perhaps why he was so ready to resort to a weapon of some kind whenever he got himself into difficulty. He was hot-headed and impetuous, and very much given to both drinking and quarreling, and among men who did not fear him was very much disliked. He possessed none of the qualities of leadership such as those that distinguished such men as H.P. Meighton, Wyatt Earp, Bill Tillman, and other famous Western characters. Holliday seemed to be absolutely unable to keep out of trouble for any great length of time. He would no sooner be out of one scrape before he was in another, and the strange part of it is he was more often in the right than in the wrong, which has rarely ever been the case with a man who is continually getting himself into trouble. Bat Masterson. In 1887, his chronic tuberculosis getting worse, Doc Holliday checked into the Hotel Glenwood, near the hot springs of Glenwood Springs, Colorado. As he lay dying, Holliday's reported to have asked the nurse attending him for a shot of whiskey. When she told him no, he looked at his bootless feet, amused. The nurse said that his last words were, "This is funny." He always figured he would be killed some day with his boots on. He was only 36 years old.